It's official. I have been on YouTube for 10 years. In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to my very first video, and I'm also going to be answering a Q&A with all of your questions about YouTube, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, Jennifer L. Scott here, and welcome to my YouTube channel, which I have now had for 10 years. I can't believe that. I feel like that's a really long time in the world of YouTube. So if you're new to my channel, I am the author of the Madame Chic series and Connoisseur Kids. And I started my YouTube channel 10 years ago when I was 30, about to turn 31, to market my books. And here I am 10 years later, 40, about to turn 41. I think by the time you see this, I will be 41. So anyway, I am going to jump right in. I'm going to leave timestamps down below as well, so make sure you check those out. But I want to react to my first video. Now, there's a few very interesting things that are happening right now. My very first video from 10 years ago is called How to Tie a Scarf. And I promise you, I did not choose this shirt based on that video. I got dressed today to shoot this video, and I haven't looked at my video because I want a proper reaction to it, you know, 10 years later. I did not realize that I am also wearing a Breton striped shirt in that video. Some things never change, okay? I'm still wearing my Breton striped shirts 10 years later. This is a different one, but it's pretty much the same thing. The second thing I want to point out with How to Tie a Scarf, my very first YouTube video, is that it's only 54 seconds long. So I was really ahead of my time. I was doing YouTube shorts before they were ever a thing or popular. So let's have a look at it now. Okay, I'm gonna get my headset on.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. Welcome to the Daily Connoisseur.
Okay, so I said connoisseur different back then. I said daily connoisseur. That's how I used to say it, very Americanized. And over the years, I have refined it a little more to sound a little more French. It's like a franglais, like half French, half American. It just sounds nicer than sewer. I think one time I got a comment from a man who said, the way you say it makes it sound like sewer. So now I say daily connoisseur. Sounds better.
So today I wanted to show you my favorite red scarf. This is by Love Quotes. I love their Italian linen scarves. And I wanted to show you the various ways that I wear it. So here we go.
Loving the music. Copyright-free music. Oh, I like that one. Look at me trying to be a film star. I still have those sunglasses. And that was it, literally the shortest video ever. Oh, okay, I can take these off now. Okay, so that is so funny. First of all, I really have not changed very much, as you can see, in 10 years. I think I even kind of look the same. I mean, I look older, but I have that same kind of look, you know, with that scarf. And then I still have those sunglasses. I share those sunglasses in my outfit of the weeks. I even wore them yesterday, so I keep them in my car. But some things never change. The Breton striped shirt, the Oliver Peoples sunglasses, I've still got the same style. So let's back up. Why did I start my YouTube channel 10 years ago? Why did I choose that to be my first video, How to Tie a Scarf? What was the thought process behind this? So this was back in 2011, and I think that video was from April. I was writing my first book. It's actually my second book. I never published my first book, which is a mystery. One day it'll get published. But anyway, I was writing lessons from Madame Chic, and long story short, I could not get a literary agent to save my life. Like, nobody wanted me, nobody wanted my book. And so I decided to self-publish my book. And I was working on this process at the time. I had just had my first baby when this was shot. And I wanted to find a way to market my book because I knew that no one would read it if I didn't find a way to tell people about it. So I had a blog at that time. The Daily Connoisseur has been going since 2008. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to start a YouTube channel because I really liked watching YouTube back then. I've always loved YouTube. I watched a handful of channels that I just loved, and I thought, you know, I could do this. And in each video, I could mention my book. Now, I don't mention my book in my first video because I started it about 6 months or so before the book was published with the intention of building an audience. So that's how I am with business and marketing. I am very intentional and nothing is by accident. So I wanted to develop an audience that I could then share my book with. And that proved to be a very successful marketing strategy because, as you all know, and I'll tell the story really quickly, when I self-published the book in November of that year, it did so well on Amazon. It caught a lot of attention, a lot of media like CNN and a lot of newspapers around the country. And then the following spring in 2012, the New York Times reviewed my book. I'll never get over it. I'll never get over that. Anyway, it reviewed my book, and then I found the most excellent literary agent, Erica at Trident Media Group, and we sold it to Simon & Schuster, and the rest is history. And the Madame Chic series went on to become New York Times bestsellers and really popular in different countries around the world. And it has been the wildest ride ever. But I really have to attribute my success as a writer to YouTube. So I have a very fond space in my heart for YouTube. I still use YouTube today to market my books. That is still the main reason why I do YouTube, because at the end of every single video you see, I share that I'm an author and I share my books with you. And you know, there's thousands of people who watch the videos, and every day they are introduced to my books through my videos. So if you are an author, it's an excellent way to market your books. And I have so much to say on that subject, but now's not the time. Okay, on the community tab, I asked all of you if you had any questions for me about YouTube, and I received a lot of great questions, so I'm going to answer those right now. Okay, this one isn't a question so much as a comment, and I really liked it, so I wanted to read it. This is by Olivia. She said, "For many years, I thought classy women were rich and snobby. Since I found your channel, I realized that it's not at all about the money." And then she goes on to say what the channel has meant to her. And I just want to say thank you, Olivia. It just means a lot to me. I love hearing feedback about the channel and the books and how it has changed your perception on things and how it's changed your life. So I love that. Thank you. Okay. Leslie Lisbeth, who by the way has a YouTube channel, she's an amazing musician. She said, "Was there ever a time when you thought you could not go on due to lack of inspiration or time?" I get this question a lot, and they say, how do you come up with material? I have no problem coming up with material or inspiration. I have a few journals around my house that are full of ideas for videos. So I will never run out of video ideas. I mean, the day I do will probably be time to quit, but I don't ever run out of inspiration for doing videos. My trouble is time, because she says lack of inspiration or time. So I never have the time to do what I want to do with work. So I don't have trouble coming up with video ideas because I have a lot of ideas, but I do have trouble coming up with the time. If you don't know, I am married with 4 children, so I'm very busy with my family. Okay, Wendy asks, how has YouTube affected your social life? Do most people you come in contact with know about your channel? Nobody I come in contact with knows about my channel unless they know me really well. I don't tell people what I do, so if somebody meets me, they probably won't find out for a long time, if ever. So it doesn't affect my social life at all. I have a very small, close-knit circle of friends who've known me for ages, and it doesn't affect my social life at all. So that's a good thing. Okay, Carla asks, how do you outline your videos, and how long is the whole process from outlining to publication? I outline my videos in my journals, so I will write my topic idea and then the various points of the video that I would like to hit, and any subcategories that are in there as well. And I'm pretty detailed and organized with that. I haven't always been this way, and I suppose I should talk about that as well. When I started my YouTube channel back in 2011, I was not serious about YouTube. Literally the only reason why I started my channel was to market my books. I really didn't care about YouTube that much, which leads me to my next thing. Sometimes when someone is being a little mean in the comments, they'll say, you've been on YouTube for 10 years. Why do you only have X amount of subscribers? And that is a very good question. I don't have very many subscribers, especially for having been on YouTube for 10 years. So people are like, why don't you have 1 million subscribers like all the other people who have been on YouTube for 10 years? Well, I think the answer to that is because, well, number one, it's very hard to get subscribers. So anybody who has a YouTube channel will know that. There are some people who it's easy and they're kind of like overnight successes. But for most people, getting a subscriber, somebody to watch a video and actually decide that they like you and they want to see more of you, is rather difficult. So it's not easy to get subscribers. And then the second thing is that I only became really intentional about growing my YouTube channel a few years ago, which I know sounds crazy, but I was more focused on my books at that time. I have written 5 books in the past 10 years. And when you write a book, it is a process that is, it takes your whole mind and soul, like it is all consuming. And for me, the writing is my favorite thing. It's the most important aspect of my career. I feel like my YouTube videos might not last forever, but my books might last forever. And so I love my books so deeply. So when I was, I published Madame Chic, the first one, and then once Simon & Schuster picked it up, then we were in contract for the next one, and then the next one, and then we did, I did a children's book for Japan called Madame Chic, and then Connoisseur Kids, and this takes up a lot of time. So I was more focused on writing books during that stage than I was on YouTube. So I look at my older videos, there's no thumbnails, it's just like what the picture was. I didn't know anything about algorithm or marketing your video or keywords or even collaborations. I didn't even know how to do those. I remember one time I had a management firm back then and they were trying to set me up on a collaboration with someone who lived across the country, and I was so dense. I thought you had to do a collaboration in person. I didn't realize we could do it. Anyway, it was just funny. So I didn't know about any of this stuff, and I didn't put much thought into it. So my videos, they did pretty well. I mean, I always had, for not putting effort into YouTube, I always had pretty good views. And the thing that I love about my audience is that I have literally the best audience on YouTube. And even my family, they look at the videos and they're like, Jennifer, your viewers write you paragraphs. I mean, people write paragraphs because they're so passionate about the subjects that we talk about here on this channel. And so I have an extremely engaged audience. And that was really all I cared about. I cared about the audience. Was the audience happy? Could we engage with each other? Is this high quality work? But on the business aspect of YouTube, I was clueless as to how to grow my channel. And you really do have to be intentional when you decide to grow your channel. So I did become intentional a few years ago. And when I did that, my channel grew so quickly considering where it was. I mean, I think I was at like 30,000 subscribers for years. I just never got new subscribers. And then it just really took off. So I'm excited now that I know what I'm doing on YouTube, but that is why I started the channel and why I have, I think at this point, I'm not even sure how many subscribers I have, but however many subscribers I have, that's why it's not that high, because I really only started getting intentional about it recently. Okay, Asia222 says, your books make a big impact on my life. Thank you. Are you writing another book? The answer to this question is yes, I am writing another book, and I am so excited about this book, and I know that so many of you are going to absolutely love it. So yes, I am writing another book. Okay, Rebecca says, what do you see the next 10 years holding for you on YouTube? Well, I don't know how long I'll be on YouTube, if I'll be on another 10 years. I would like that. I really have grown to love YouTube. I really have. So I would love to be on YouTube for another 10 years. And I don't know where that will take me, but I'm very adaptable, and hopefully I will continue to do videos and market my books through YouTube. Okay, a lot of people ask me the question, what video are you most proud of? And that is a really hard question to answer. I could tell you the ones that I have enjoyed the most and gotten the most out of are my interview series. I love my interview series. I love every single person I've interviewed on this channel. Has been so fascinating, and I've just made some really good friends through that series, and I learned so much. I love to talk to other people, so I love my interview series. And then the Chic assignments, for me, I know that's not my most popular series or my most popular videos, but I love the Chic assignments, and I really get into them. I dive into these artists' worlds and I just immerse myself in it, and I really do deep dives. Like I'll do Frida Kahlo's hairstyle. I'll read Emily Dickinson for months. I'm reading, Dorothy Wordsworth's journals about her brother, and I just go so deep into these assignments, and they really help me in my life. So I love those. Okay, Susanna says, what has been your biggest challenge in regards to personal struggle creating a video addressing rude personal comments to you? I've never done one of those videos where I address rude or personal comments to me. So I haven't done one of those, but I have received a few other questions similar to this. So Ine Paya, she has a small YouTube channel. She said that she just started, and she said, how do you cope with negative feedback in the comment section? Okay, so this is a big one, and people are always asking about this, and rightfully so, because when you first start a channel, it could be very shocking if you are used to a rather polite society to be suddenly in front of people who are not so polite. And I've just grown so much, and YouTube has changed me. That's another question here. Samara27 writes, are you worried YouTube will change you? So YouTube has changed me in many ways. I mean, good ways and bad ways, but one way is that it's given me a very thick skin, and I needed that because I was a very sensitive, like, delicate flower, okay? And so in the beginning, people would write me comments, and just the majority of my comments are very positive, uplifting, kind comments. But then, there's those people that get in and they're like, you're ugly. Go jump off a cliff, like, you're terrible. And they just say things like that to you. And in the beginning you think, wow, I can't believe that another human being took the time out of their day to write this to me. But now it just doesn't, I'm telling you, it does not affect me. I've had so many negative comments in my life. I have literally been called every swear word under the sun and compared to, like, the worst. I mean, you just won't believe it. But now it's not like I find it amusing, but I just not fazed. I don't know, I'm not fazed. I just have a really thick skin now. So I'm sure all the negative comments are gonna come. Go on. They're gonna be testing me. But I just don't know, it doesn't bother me. But equally, I love getting praise and nice compliments too. But I've realized after being on YouTube that if you think about it like this, for 10 years of my life, every single day of my life receive hundreds of comments from people, and many of the comments are opinions or praise or criticisms. And imagine that influx of energy coming towards you every single day. So I have really learned to just not take heed to any of it. I mean, I definitely appreciate nice comments, but I'm not sitting here trying to get validation in my comment section from people. So, I mean, yesterday I got like 5 shockingly mean comments just alone, and I look at them, I'm amused, I keep going. I don't spend time thinking about it. So that's it. People's comment will not show up if they put a swear word in it. I have some strong filters on my channel, so if you want to call me a bad word, it's probably not going to show up. But other people's comments, they stay there. Okay, 615 Venus asks, do you get recognized where you live or when you travel? I have been recognized a very small handful of times. So I have been recognized where I lived in Santa Monica a few times. When I went on holiday to Catalina Island, I was recognized. The person who was next door to us knew who I was. And a few other times out with my family, yes, but everyone has been really polite and very nice, and but it's really not that many, like probably 5 times in the past 10 years. Okay, Special Gifts LA says, what has made you stay on YouTube, and has your channel surprised you? I stay on YouTube because I want to continue to market my books. I want to write books for the rest of my life, and this is the best way for me to market them. But also because I do love the community. I love you, the viewer, and I love the topics we discuss, and I am very passionate about the topics we discuss. So You know, when I say I didn't care about YouTube for like 6 years, it doesn't mean that I didn't care about the topics I was discussing. I really did. I was more engrossed in the content than growing my channel and the business side of YouTube. So that's what I mean by that. And has your channel surprised you? It has surprised me. It surprised me in the sense that YouTube is an incredible marketing tool and also an incredible business tool. Okay, Laura McCoy says, how much time do you put into YouTube weekly? Do you do more YouTube or writing? Well, I write every day of my life, and I probably work on YouTube every day of my life as well, but I batch my work on YouTube. So I will film, there's a few days a week when I have, that I have set aside to filming videos. So I do that, and it just depends. I used to spend so much time on editing and all of that stuff. But now this year I have hired editors. I don't edit my videos anymore. I edit the vodcasts for the Chic Society because those are usually delivered too late, but I have editors, and that has been such a game changer for me because I was really burnt out. I was spending just every single free moment I had was on YouTube, editing videos. It takes forever, writing blog posts, doing all of that. And I was severely burnt out. And so at the beginning of this year, I knew something had to change. Otherwise, I wasn't going to do YouTube anymore. I had to change that. So I hired some editors. I have an amazing editing team I work with, and they help me with that. And it's just been amazing. And you know what? I stubbornly wanted to hold on to the control of editing my own videos because it is an art, even though I'm not trained in it. I wasn't even that good at editing my own videos. But I realized that when I relinquished that control, I was able to focus more on the content. And not only that, but write more and more freely and less stressed. And that for me has been everything. So I spend less time now on YouTube because I have hired out all of those time-consuming jobs. And I'm gonna cut here really quickly. Nobody asked about sponsorships, but I'm going to talk about them here. So I do sponsored videos between 2 to 4 a month. And back before I hired editors, I was doing about 2 a month. Now that I have a team of people that I pay each month that I hire out, I have to do more sponsored videos in order to keep that up. So I always try to make my sponsored videos relevant to you and the sponsors that I choose to work with. The mentions are always usually 1 minute. I always put timestamps in my videos, so if you're like, you're working with this sponsor again and you don't want to hear it, you could always just skip it and go to the next thing. But I think that I try to incorporate the sponsorship into the video in a way that is interesting, and I always let you know at the beginning that it's a sponsored video type thing. So anyway, thank you for your understanding with that, but it just helps my channel to function. So if you enjoy my videos, then be grateful for my sponsors, basically. Okay, Jaren asks, what advice would you give to another mom who's considering starting her own channel? My advice would be to be consistent. A lot of people, and I've seen a lot of people I know, and they really go gung-ho on a YouTube channel and they put out like 10 videos in a month or something, and then they go away for 4 months. That's not good. If you're gonna shoot 10 videos, that's great, but schedule them to go out once a week. You know what I mean? Just be consistent. And that's something that I have been on this channel. I have been consistent for 10 years. I do take a few weeks off each year, but people know that I'm going to come back and that I am here for them. I'm not going to go away for like 5 months, so be consistent is what I would say. And Fancy Nancy asks, how do you navigate the algorithm? The algorithm, that's something that I have learned about in the past few years that I didn't really think about or know about, but the algorithm is this mysterious thing that recommends your videos to new people. And it's really about choosing topics that would be of interest to a lot of people. Now, another reason why my channel hasn't grown that much is because a lot of the topics that I discuss are very niche, elegance, manners, class. It's not something that people are that interested in these days, sadly. So it's not like a super popular topic, but I will continue to do what I do and just thoroughly enjoy it. So I plan on staying on YouTube, and I really love this community. I want to thank you so much if you're a subscriber of this channel, just for contributing to the Daily Connoisseur community in that way. I'm so grateful for you. I also want to thank the Chic Society. That's the private membership group here on YouTube. It's only $1.99 a month. And I do a vodcast every Friday, and we go live or do a Zoom call once a month. So that's a really fun private membership group here that I really enjoy as well. So that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions about YouTube, please leave them down below. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of this journey. And here's to 10 more years. Keep calm and remain classy. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye. Thank you.